everybody, it is Blonde Blitz time. Let's go.
He's had, but I still like the Commanders.
I'm also tough.
DeMarche. I'm looking at that Cincinnati team against the Cleveland Browns.
Well, as soon as I saw the rain last night, I was wondering if that might be a little bit of a factor as well.
Play that week is really going to be more impacted.
With the Raiders, who got Jacoby Myers back.
The same thing with Joe Burrow. You just expect Joe Burrow to do it because he's been to a Super Bowl.
It's time to send in the Blitz with Deb Whitcas and the Blonde Blitz.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Blonde Blitz. I'm your host, Deb Whitcas. Sorry about last week, and we're a little delayed this week, but it's not going to stop at the show. Week 6 is over, and we're headed to week 7. We've got a great show for you today. My special guest is former NFL QB and my good friend, Ed Blount. He'll be here to help me with hot takes for week 6, and then we'll hear all about his football career and his current endeavors later in the show. We also have sports comedian Haley Brooks back today. She's here for some week 6 funny. We've got Chef Virginia, Chef V, private chef to the NFL athletes. She is here to talk foods that give you energy and keep injuries away. A ton of those in the NFL right now. As always, sports betting expert Alex White is here from Vegas to give you your best bet for week number 7. Fantasy expert Ballers Meg gives us her fantasy picks for week 7. Intuitive reader 333S Carrie looks at the power deck for the Texans versus Seahawks game. And finally, Ben Troupe, former tight end for the Buccaneers and the Titans, is here to help me with week 7 game picks. We've got a packed full show for you guys tonight. Let's get it started with headlines. I am doing it live tonight.
Now to Deb Whitcas with the Blonde Blitz headlines.
Week 6 delivered more late game chaos with 8 games within 1 score in the fourth quarter and 6 decided by 8 points or fewer. Carolina and the Chargers both pulled out wins in the final minute, while Indianapolis improved to 5-1, continuing a 35 of 36 season streak where at least one non-playoff team starts 5-1 the following year. Denver's defense made headlines with 9 sacks against the Jets in London, bringing their season total to 30, tied for the most through 6 games since 1990. Justin Herbert led a late Chargers comeback. Daniel Jones scored 3 times in Indy's 31-27 win, and Christian McCaffrey set a record as the first RB ever with 50-plus receiving yards and in each of his team's first 6 games. CMC there killing it this season. Moving to NFC Players of the Week, we've got offensive Bijan Robinson of the Falcons, 238 scrimmage yards and a 81-yard touchdown run on Monday Night Football. Defense, Jameel Dean and the Buccaneers, 4 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble, and a pick in the 30-19 win. Special teams, Ryan Fitzgerald of the Panthers hit all 3 field goals, including a 55-yarder, plus a 3-point after TDs. AFC Players of the Week, offensive, Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs, 257 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 pass, 1 rush in the Sunday Night Football win. On the defense, Jonathan Cooper of the Broncos, 5 tackles, 2 sacks, and a TFL in Denver's dominant pass rush showing. Finally, special teams, Cameron Dicker of the Chargers, one of my favorites, 5 of 5 field goals, including the game winner, plus 2-point after TDs. All right, guys, that's your week 6 headlines. Sacks piling up, backs going off, and late game kicks sealing the deal. All right, guys, I'm so excited to have my special guest this week. He's also a really, really good friend of mine, former quarterback for the 49ers and the Seahawks. He's here to help me out with hot takes right now. Everyone, please help me welcome Ed Blount.
Next caller is Deb Whitcas, who says she has some really hot takes.
Hey, Ed, thank you so much for joining the Blonde Blitz. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you for having me on the show today. I appreciate it. Looking
Of
forward to it.
course. Anytime. I was so excited when you said you wanted to do it. So let's get started with the Eagles Giants game last week. The Giants destroyed the Eagles 17-34. Obviously, last year's Super Bowl champions. Is this their downfall, and what do they need to fix?
That's interesting. What do I need to fix? There's so many moving parts to football.
Right? There are.
Just what they fix the whole thing.
I agree.
I think, they just got to get back to basics. They're one of the best teams and one of the best well organized and operated and managed teams. So I just think they just need to get back on their game and on their path.
Yeah.
But on the Giants side, that's impressive.
Yeah, I like what I mean, and I'm a huge Eagles fan. You've known me for years, but I do really love what Jackson Dart did to spark that offense. And Brian Dable was there making sure in the medical tent that he was okay that one game, which is against NFL rules. But yeah, no, I'm excited for my Giants friends, the fans, because they deserve it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Jackson Dart, just kind of listening to, I believe it's Lane Kiffin, right, coming out of Mississippi, and just Ole Miss, I guess, and just hearing all of the praise that he was giving this young man. So it's always cool to see these young athletes, these young quarterbacks perform well. It's crazy because it seems like there's this rookie, freshman, whatever we want to call them, right? First year guys.
Yeah.
There's this thing going around where these guys are performing well. They're coming back for their sophomore season, and it's just a little bit of struggles. So I think
Jaden Daniels. But yeah, what about I know you're a huge Jalen Hurts fan. Do you think Jalen has anything to do with the Eagles, or is it just the offense? I personally think it's the new OC that's the issue, and I think once they get that in line, I don't necessarily know if he needs to get fired, but there obviously there's something wrong with the offense of the Eagles, and it's just not clicking. There's no rhyme or reason to any of the play calling, and the Eagles just look confused out there.
Yeah, I don't like throwing around firing.
Right, no, either do I. Yeah, that's why I kind of stopped myself there, because it's not. They just have to fix it.
It's such a hard, tough game, right? The NFL's hard, and I think people take it for granted. And all these teams are really good.
Yeah,
and all have at any point they can all come together and gel and do well.
Yep. Well, and look at the Falcons. We can talk about it. Yeah, look at the Falcons. They've had a rough season. I mean, we can move on to that one next. The Falcons.
I was just going. I just wanted to go back to Jalen Hurts real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
My personal feelings about Jalen Hurts, right? Just watching him kind of grow up. Nick Saban, I had a daughter that went to Alabama. They both were freshmen the same year. She worked with the football program, so they have a student recruiting program. And just kind of following his career and just watching him grow and just become the young man that he is. And he's just such an amazing character.
Yes.
And have to endure and just to have the resiliency that he's had and shown. And then, just listening to kind of the fans and the people in the social media talk about him, it just drives me crazy, because I'm like, you guys got this great quarterback, and you guys are trying to diminish his stardom, because
some people say he's not a top 10 quarterback. Like, what? He's a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, don't get no topper than that. Is topper a word? I'm gonna make it a word. So yeah, you're the Super Bowl champion. He's been a couple times out of 3 or 4 years.
Twice.
I don't know how you say he's not. And a lot of times, I think people just looking at the stats, right, and the throwing yards and things like that. And I'm like, man, this is about winning. It's the rest of it you can throw out the window. If you're not winning, you can't go to the Super Bowl. And so you got these other quarterbacks who are leading the league in passing, but they're always coming from behind.
Right.
So there's other factors that fall into that. But anyway, I just love what he's done and watch it. And I just think people should give him a lot more credit than they do.
And you should know, because you were a quarterback in the NFL. right?
I gotta have my little cup of coffee in the NFL, but it's hard. Like I said, it's very hard, and the learning curve is on a whole nother level, right? And so people just don't understand what all goes into it. And it's, it's just your job as an analyst and as a reporter and a broadcaster to, I guess, explain this to people, and hopefully they understand it. But it's hard. It's just listening to people drive me crazy. So
Right, absolutely. Well, let's move on to the Bills Falcons game. Like you said, everyone is good in the NFL, and anyone can click at any time. The Falcons clicked with playing the Bills. They defeated them 24-14 Monday Night Football. Are the Falcons better than everyone thought they were? I personally always thought they're good. Like, you know what I mean? Just so much talent not being utilized there. Penix, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, like, oh my God, Ray McLeod. But are the Falcons, the kind of the dark horse right now?
I don't know if I'd say dark horse. The season just started.
Well, okay.
Right.
That's fair. Fair.
And I'm on record. Everybody's good.
Okay.
And so, and you just said it best. It's when teams start clicking, they're hard to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of, again, being healthy, clicking. Bijan looked like he's cut straight out of a gaming console. I don't know. I don't play Madden, but whatever rating he should have the highest rating on the planet, because this dude looks like he's playing another level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's early.
Yeah.
So they, the defense looked good. They got after him.
They're playing they played the Bills. The Bills are like the number one team right now. Just
well, they're supposed to be now.
Right.
We're going to start hearing rumors that they're not good now, right? So
right. Exactly. Oh, the NFL drama. So
everybody's good.
You did mention injuries. Unfortunately, linebacker Fred Warner suffered a dislocated broken ankle last week. It's going to sideline him for the rest of the season, which is so sad. He's just such an amazing player. Will this be the second year in a row that San Fran kind of succumbs to injuries, do you think? Or like, can CMC carry this whole team? Because I feel like everybody else is injured at this point.
Injuries are part of the game. You can't play this game without getting hurt, unfortunately. It's a great game, but it comes down to who's healthy, right? The deeper you get into the season, you just need those bodies, and a lot of times it's a brutal game, right? So
yeah,
hopefully, next man up, right? Like these guys are good. Somebody will step up and show that they belong there, and they're looking for their opportunities. To me, it's a great opportunity for the next man, right? Like, starter goes down. Hey, man, you come in there, be prepared for your time when it comes, and do what you have to do. And so,
that's how we got Justin Herbert. It was Jameis Winston went down that one year right before the game, and Justin Herbert stepped up, and there you go. Same thing, Brock Purdy. These guys, you're right. It is such a next man up mentality, and hopefully I would like to see San Francisco, even though they are in NFC, still succeed, because it was a bummer last season that they, didn't make it too far. So
well, I'm a Cowboy fan.
It's all the hesitation. I was like, what is he going to say next? Well, let's really quickly move on to the Rams-Ravens game. Puka Nacua was injured. He's got a bit of an ankle injury. They're not sure if he's questionable for the game in London. Do you think the Rams can win without him? Right now, he's one of the number one wide receivers in the league. Obviously, they also have Devontae Adams, but the two of them together are such a powerhouse. But, do you think the Rams can do it without him?
Yes, I definitely think so. They got Matt Stafford. Devontae Adams is not a slouch, like you said.
Not even close.
Guys have to fill in. So Devontae Adams is a number one, so it's not like you don't have a number one. And you just got to execute, right? At the same time, again, next man up mentality. Somebody's going to have to come in and make plays. And this is football. Like, it's the ultimate team sport.
Yep. Well, let's just do one more question before we get to your experience in football. Last week, the Lions, Brian Branch was involved in a post-game fight with Chiefs Juju Smith-Schuster. Everybody saw it, everybody talking about it. Brian Branch was suspended for this week's game. Why do players fight knowing it's not going to end well? Like, I love the fighting, to be honest, to watch it, but like, they know it's not going to end well. They know they're going to get suspended. They know they're going to get, fined something. Why do they do it?
Yeah, I think why they do it. That's a great question. Um, it's such a violent game,
Right.
and we got to turn it on and off, right, between the lines. And sometimes it's hard the lines get blurry, right?
Mhm.
Once you're in the red, it's hard to come out, right? So it's kind of like, a matador waving that red flag waving that red tail at the bull, right? Like once
Yeah.
once you go into that mode as an athlete and you got your mindset, right?
Right.
It's hard to just game's over, man, right? Like
Yeah.
move on, shake hands, come back and try to, do what you're gonna need to do next game. But sometimes we get caught up in our thoughts and our feelings and our, we just yeah, I mean, I think it happens to everybody,
Hmm.
right? So just gotta give them some leniency, I guess, and pray for them.
Right. 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 Well, in the league, it was only one game. You know what I mean? Like the league suspended him for one game. He's a great athlete, and he did apologize after. So I was just wondering
Yeah,
what
and if they take enough money from you,
right.
you learn fast.
You
Well,
learned
I don't know if you learn
quickly.
fast, but you learn.
Right. Right. Well, let's talk about how you got into football and a little bit about your career in the NFL. I ask everybody this question. Why football? Why do you love it?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Growing up, it was natural for me. It just came easy, right? Like I was able to throw a football better than everybody else. So
Okay.
as a kid, I was always the first guy picked. Everybody I played with, though, I remember growing up in a neighborhood where we were all good, right? Like I
Hmm.
didn't know it though. Like I was clueless. I mean, when you talk about just as an athlete, as a kid growing up playing with the guys that I played with, I didn't realize till after I finished playing how good we were looking back and
Hmm.
seeing the career path of all those kids. And so I'd say the majority of kids I grew up playing with all went pro.
Wow. Okay. And you
Right.
grew
And
up in,
so
in Pasadena, right? Correct?
grew up in Pasadena, but early childhood I was in Monrovia, DeWardy area.
Okay.
I went to high school in Pasadena, but the kids I'm talking about like on the grade school level, we
Okay.
were all I mean, we were pushing each other, but we don't know it, right? We're just out there having
Right.
fun. Like
Having fun. You're
I
being
thought
kids, throwing a football around. Yeah.
I thought everybody could throw. Like that's how
Okay.
crazy I was. I thought everybody could throw a football. And we didn't have camps and clinics and development skills, things like that. Like we
Right.
pushed each other, like we were our coaches, right? We just went out and played. And we got better, we got sharper, iron sharpens iron, right? So we got sharper just competing against each other. And I didn't, like I said, I look back on it now and I see it. But growing up, I was clueless. I had no clue.
Right.
And so I got to the seventh grade and I grew like 6 inches
Okay.
in the seventh grade. And so I had Osgood slaughter. I couldn't support my bone structure.
Oh, wow.
Had issues. So I couldn't play football. So I didn't play football. I played baseball. Um, and I ended up graduating from junior high school in the ninth grade and we moved to Pasadena. So that's how I got to Pasadena. But I walked on to the football team. I had a friend take me down to a school his kids went to. And I wanted to play receiver, and I just went out and was like, "Hey, coach, I want to play receiver." Now, I'd never played quarterback with a helmet and shoulder pad in my life before. I caught a pass. I think I ran down the end zone. I threw the ball back, and the coach was like, "Hey, come here," like just
Yeah.
on sight, like
Right away.
he saw something,
Saw
right?
something. Yep.
And he's like,
Good.
"Oh, man, you're in the wrong place." So,
Let's have a conversation.
yeah. So 2 weeks go by. I'm starting in the freshman sophomore game. 2 weeks after that, I got brought up to varsity.
Wow.
And then, the rest is history. Got a scholarship to Washington State. Went free agent to the 49ers. I'm just going to breeze over that, but went free agent to the 49ers. Had a great time at Washington State. Got to play behind some great people. Matter of fact, Mark is one of the, I guess, advisory board members for my pro football tour that we're starting.
Okay.
Ripping. So got to play behind Mark, who is a two-time Super Bowl champion. So
yes,
I'm not going to just breeze over that part. But I got to go free agent to the 49ers. They had a guy named Joe Montana. Maybe you heard of him.
Might have heard of him. I mean,
yeah, just.
What was it like playing with Joe Montana?
I had a cup of coffee in the league. I did not play, again, watching on the sidelines. Got to play 4 games. Like I said, they brought me in during the year of the strike, so I got a full year credit. But just being able to compete at that level,
yes,
I definitely turned a lot of heads. I remember Mike Holmgren just telling me, like, man, you can play in this league. We just got Joe Montana and Steve Young in front of you. Like, there's no way.
That next man up thing wasn't quite happening.
yeah. Not people weren't going down fast enough back then.
Right.
Even though it was more violent.
Yeah.
But enjoyed my time, learned a ton. Like I said, the learning curve is absolutely ridiculous. The plays, the calls, I remember learning the offense, and this is the Bill Walsh system, and I remember having to learn like 40 plays a day, something crazy. But they didn't tell you the formations. They just told you the plays, and you had to know the formations for all the plays.
Right. Yeah.
So
and did you use flashcards, or what did you use to learn? Some of the guys use flashcards.
Oh, we use hand signals. We're out there pop locking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're just, we had to study sign language. So you had to learn sign language. So you had to know the plays, and then they would signal them in. You got 3 people over there, a couple dummies, and they send in a play, and then you have to know the formation.
Right. What has being an NFL player, what has it afforded you in life? How have you used your platform, as an NFL player to do other things?
I don't think I've used it enough, right? Like because I think I've got what is it? Imposter syndrome. Like in my mind,
and you shouldn't at all. I don't know.
I've never really wanted to lead with football. Right? And this is all my life growing up. I mean, I'm getting, praised by people and things like that. And it was, I don't know what it was, but it was just, I didn't want people to know me because I was a football player. I was hung up on something weird. And, but football's opened up tons of doors, like just, being able to connect and network with people and have access to the world and just be able to travel and meet and just coming from Pasadena as a poor kid, underserved, never thought that, didn't know what would happen to me, to be honest with you. I mean, I was blessed to be able to throw a football better than everybody else. And so I'd have to say football saved my life.
Wow.
And that's a deeper story, but football definitely saved my life and gave me an opportunity and a pathway to be able to do things that I never thought I'd be able to do.
And you're still involved in football now. What are some of the things that you're working on currently?
33 years ago, I started a 5-side flag football league out of Orange County, Huntington Beach, California. And
Hey guys, having some technical difficulties at the moment. Not sure what's going on, but we can see if we can end that interview in a little bit. But right now, let's go to Haley. She's got a little week 6 funny for you guys.
Okay, I got one for you. What did the wide receiver say to the football? Catch you later. Yeah, my jokes suck. That's why I watch the Blonde Blitz.
Hey, Deb, thanks so much for having me. So excited to be back on the Blonde Blitz. What a fun show. So thank you for that warm, gentle introduction. Thank you, Deb. So sweet. But hey, this week, wow, my overall theme is going to be up, up, and away, because majority of these games actually had an away team win, which, if you refer back to when you and I spoke last, is how every Raiders game is played at their own home field. Even it is an away game, and yet they've had one win. But I digress. You and I, we both share a little home team love for our Philadelphia Eagles. So, of course, we're going to talk about that Eagles-Giants game. We saw it the second week in a row. We lost, so we're down 2. But the Eagles-Giants game, man, we could really boil it down to, you know what, the quarterbacks' names, as a matter of fact, Dart and Hurts. That's really how this game played out. Dart was a dartin', and Hurts, well, he was hurting us. He really was. Dart was darting it into the end zone. Dart was darting it over and tossing it into the end zone. And it wasn't just darting and a hurting. It also was a scatabooing. I mean, over to scataboo, and he scataboos into the end zone. I mean, what I'm really trying to say is, what is going on with these players' names? I mean, scataboo goes in deep, and in from the right comes yabba dabba doo. Somebody get this man some pads and shoes. Maybe a healthy meal that's not just colored flavored flakes and milk. But of course, the Eagles, they took the loss. That's 2 in a row. We'll get them next week. That division game happening Thursday night. But of course, the talk of the town, the game we all talked about. You guys spoke on it earlier. The Detroit Lions and Kansas City Chiefs. What a slap in the face that game was. No, but really it was a real slap in the face. Of course, the Kansas City defeating the Detroit Lions, which I could have called from the start because it was Travis Kelce's birthday, October 5th. It's Libra season. More on that in a minute in my Taylor Swift connections. But that really was an exciting game to watch. More exciting to watch than it was to listen to Taylor Swift's new album, as a matter of fact. But of course, the highlight, the thing we've all seen from that game, the slap. That's right. At the end of the game, as the clock was ticking down, Brian Branch took it upon himself to go over to Juju Smith-Schuster and Will Smith his ass. The only difference between this slap and the one that happened at the Oscars is that the Smith was on the receiving end and he got rocked during this, and a scuffle it occurred on the field. My favorite part of that whole debacle, the scuffle, you see the red and the white of the Kansas City Chiefs, and then the blue and the white. We had red, white, and blue going at it. Everyone was getting involved. It was really cool to metaphorically see like a little snippet of Civil War II coming to your home 2026. So thank you for that little metaphor, NFL. But what was really interesting about the slap and how everything played out, so because of the slap, Brian Branch is out for one game. He's out for one game. The next game, which I believe is the Lions in Tampa Bay. But I have a theory. It's Libra season, okay? I told you Travis Kelce just had his birthday. He's a Libra, born in 1989, by the way, to go back to the Taylor Swift theory, but I digress. The next game, the Buccaneers, the Detroit Lions Buccaneers game, is scheduled to take place on Monday night, October 20th. On October 22nd, that is 23-year-old Brian Branch's birthday. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, Mr. Branch. I know, I smell I'm calling out of work when I see one. Okay? October 20th is the game. October 22nd is your birthday. And then the following week, you guys are on a bye week anyway. So the next time you come back, the next time you are reformed, the next time you're a new man is against the new man on the Minnesota Vikings. That's when you'll be reformed and put back together. I smell a good birthday celebration. And all I'm trying to say, Brian Branch, is that in between Monday, October 20th and Tuesday, October 22nd, happens to be Monday, October 21st. And that's my birthday, and I would love to join you at your birthday festivities. So give your girl a call. Thanks so much, Deb. I appreciate.
Well, I hope we both get an invite to that birthday party because I want to go too. All right, Haley. All right, guys, we're going to try the end of Ed's interview right now, so enjoy.
Just kind of selfishly as a need to throw the football. I started a rec league for adults because I wanted to play catch and throw the football in a safe and fun environment, kind of like a softball league. So I made up a game, 5-on-5 football game. I branded it, kept statistics, wrote stories, published a weekly newsletter, and the league grew from 8 to 500 teams in our first 3 seasons.
Wow.
And we're just scrambling to find fields. And through this newsletter, because it was about the participants, these guys were reading these things like it was the Wall Street Journal and passing it around, or LA Times sports section, I guess, and passing it around like it was the Watchtower, and the league just kind of blew up. So fast forward 30 years, flag football's become an explosive explosive property or asset.
Absolutely. Between men's and women's. I cover a lot of women's flag football, and then also NFL's saying that they're going to make pro leagues soon for flag football, so that's amazing. Also just included in the 2028 LA Olympics as well.
Right.
All right, we're just having a ton of glitches today, but we're going to keep moving on. So there have been a ton of injuries this season already, unfortunately, but Chef V is here to give you advice on how to keep those away and give you energy by what you're eating.
I used to make peanut butter and jelly for football. Then I watched the Blonde Blitz, and now my game day food is on a whole new level.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Chef V again, and today I'm talking about something that doesn't always get airtime on game day: recovery. Let's be honest, the NFL isn't the only thing in full contact mode right now. Between the crazy pace of the season and players pushing past their limits and life moving at warp speed, even my nervous system was like, I need a timeout. And that's why today I'm sharing a quick way to help your body recover like a pro, because performance isn't just about how you fuel up, it's how you restore down. Now, when I worked as a private chef for one of the NFL's top players, our secret weapon wasn't just about the pregame fuel up, it was about the postgame recovery. And recovery nutrition keeps athletes injury-free, lowers inflammation, and helps their nervous system handle the high stakes of the games. And honestly, that's just as important for us at home, whether we're juggling kids or work or training like an athlete ourselves. Well, here's the good news. You can do that with real food. And today I'm showing you one of my favorite recovery snacks. This is my dark cherry cacao recovery smoothie, my personal go-to when my own system feels like it's been through overtime. Now, dark cherries are naturally anti-inflammatory. Cacao adds magnesium to calm your muscles, and healthy fats keep your hormones happy, and you gotta have a little protein to help those building blocks repair. And this smoothie, also, I've added some of my favorite superfoods like collagen for joints and turmeric for inflammation, and a dash of adaptogens like ashwagandha for support. Now, you don't have to swallow 12 supplements 4 times a day. You can just blend them into something delicious like this. You'll find the full recipe and my list of optional add-ons in the show notes so you can make this at home. I love this thing. So whether you're protecting your body like an NFL star or just trying to stay sane during football season, remember, your recovery is the real MVP. Nourish your body, stay calm, rebuild, reset. Let's face it, the power is really in the resilience. But I do want to add that sometimes it can also be about what you don't eat. So try and stay away from the inflammatory offenders and maybe take a break. Use fasting as a modality. It does work like magic, but be sure to consult your physician or holistic practitioner if you're going to do something totally rock star like a 3-day water fast. I need to do one of those. Well, I'll be over here sipping my smoothie and resetting for my own busy week so I can stay grounded and vibrant. And I hope you do too. Cheers, Blonde Blitz.
I used to make peanut butter and jelly for football. Then I watched the Blonde Blitz.
All right, guys, let's get into the game, shall we? Please welcome third-generation sports betting expert Alex White to give us your best bet for week number 7.
It's time to get some NFL betting advice from Alex White and the Blonde Blitz. Win big so I can rob you later.
Wednesday, everyone. I can't believe it's week 7 already. I'm not going to make you wait till Sunday. Let's get a bet in for the Thursday night football game. Steelers are a 5.5 point favorite on the road against Cincinnati. I know the Bengals have looked dead. Their last win was in week 2, but they have played a brutal schedule since then. Their last 3 opponents, Denver, Detroit, and Green Bay, they're all in my top 7 in the league. I like what I saw last week against the Packers. They were on the road. Joe Flacco steps in, and they had some life again. We saw Jamar Chase get involved, 94 yards on 10 receptions and a touchdown. You know, he's happy about that. And then I also think that they can really get Chase Brown involved. We've seen a lot of running backs have success on the Steelers defense. It's all about the division right now. The Steelers are 4-1, so Cincinnati's looking up at them just like the other two. The Ravens and the Browns, they're a mess though. So I think Cincinnati is going to play their hearts out like this is the Super Bowl. They do not want Pittsburgh to be 5-1 after this matchup. 5.5 points, way too many for the home team. I'm taking it here with the Bengals. Good luck. Have a great weekend. I'll check in again next week. I'm Alex White from Sports by the Book.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alex, so much. We'll see you soon. And of course, we cannot talk sports betting without talking fantasy. Here's expert Ballers Meg with her advice for week number 7.
When I'm looking for fantasy advice, I listen to Meg from TSS Fantasy.
Hi guys, Ballers Meg coming at you for the fantasy football section of the Blonde Blitz podcast this week, and I've got some recommendations going into week 6 for your fantasy football teams. So let's start over at the San Francisco 49ers and let's look at Kendrick Bourne. Now, he is definitely one of the main options left on the field, still standing, but he had a week in week 5, guys. The numbers that he put up were phenomenal. We know the team are struggling with injury. We know that they are struggling for targets, and Kendrick Bourne was there. He showed up and he showed out last week in week 5. Although they're playing my Falcons this week, I am very, very happy to recommend that you pick him up on waiver wires if you possibly can. Next up, we have one a little bit more popular over at the New York Jets. We've got Mason Taylor at tight end. He is a rookie in his rookie season, and we are seeing that he is getting those numbers despite the end results of the games. So we know the Jets are struggling. We know they're not doing great right now. However, on his own, in terms of fantasy, Mason Taylor is a player to be aware of. Pick him up if you can, guys. He is going to get you those points. He is doing phenomenally. Week in and week out, he's putting up great points. Finally, another player that I'm recommending due to injuries on the team is Rico Dowdle over at the Carolina Panthers. Now, we know that Chuba Hubbard is out right now. We don't love to see that. However, Rico Dowdle is what is remaining on the field as a key target. And again, another player consistently getting those high points week in and week out. Bryce Young is very clearly well connected with Rico Dowdle so far, and we want to see that continue, and I definitely think it will do. So if you get the chance to pick him up on waivers, then I absolutely would recommend you do so. So if you want to see more all about fantasy football, then you can check out TSS Fantasy over on that Sports Podcast Network. I go live with the guys every Sunday, Sunday morning for the Wake Up Show, and I would love to see you over there in the comments this weekend. Also, if you want to follow me for some more football content, then you can follow me at Ballers_Meg on all the good social media platforms.
Thanks so much, Meg. Next, we have Intuitive Reader 333 Ask Carrie using her Power Deck cards to predict the Texans versus Seahawks game this week. Carrie, what do you got for us?
Let's see what the Power Deck cards say about these NFL team futures.
333 Ask Carrie here, ready to give you Week 7 predictions for the Seattle Seahawks versus the Denver Broncos using my Power Deck. So let's get into it. Monday Night Football, guys, is going to be super intense this week. Why? Because both teams are coming off of a Week 6 4-2 win. That's right. So it is going to be a neck and neck battle to see who's going to take the W. So who's it going to be? Astrologically speaking, we have a lot in the landscape. We have Mars, the planet of power and aggression, in the sign of Scorpio, which is another power-packed water sign punch of rebirth and transformation, kind of coming together with Venus, the planet of luxury and all things love and harmony, with Libra, another sign of harmony and love. So this is going to be a very, I think, push-pull type of a battle. 1 minute, one team's going to look like they're going to take it. The next minute, the other team is going to look like they're going to take it. So I really feel like it's going to be a very intense game. We have the new moon in Libra, which is going to be happening on the 21st, the night after the game. So right before a new moon, there's usually a lot of scrambling or a feeling of intensity or obstruction. And so this is definitely going to have this feel where it might even be like one of those must-watch games because there's just a lot of action involved. So let's talk about the teams. We have Seattle Seahawks, which is kind of like a mix of a bunch of players who have very different birth dates and signs. Cortland Sutherland is a Libra, and then we have the quarterback Bo Nix is a Cap, which, by the way, has been very steady because back in mid-September with the eclipses wasn't. And so yeah, there's just a lot of good energy there, but I really think the defense is what really has really showed up for the team, and I think it's the defense that's going to really bring a lot to this particular game for the Broncos. Now, Seattle Seahawks, again, they're coming off of a win against the Jaguars, so very cool that they're ready to show up again. They are going to use a lot of strategy and mindset, though, because they are all air signs. We have the quarterback, Sam Darnold, is a Gemini, and then our consummate Libra for this team is Kenneth Walker. So I feel like Kenneth Walker for the Seattle Seahawks and Cortland for Seattle should have some good games, definitely some scores in there, touchdowns, maybe, yeah, a great player too. So what's going to happen with the cards? So what I have, guys, specifically for Seattle, they get the King of Diamonds, which is a great card. They're coming into it feeling really good. And then they get the Two of Spades. So to me, at halftime, I think they're going to feel a little bit slowed down for some reason. And then, unfortunately, I get the Five of Hearts for them, meaning that they may not be the favorited after this game, so that means that they unfortunately might have a loss. But then we have Denver Broncos with the Nine of Hearts, definitely a fan favorite, especially since it's on home turf. And then we have the Ace of Spades, meaning probably by halftime and or close to the end of the game, they should look like they're cutting off the opponent, and they will looks like they might have a victory with the 10 of Clubs being my best money-making card, and especially since 10 is Bo Nix's number. So I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be a game, my prediction being 24 Seattle Seahawks, 27 Denver Broncos. Good luck, guys.
Let's see what the Power Deck cards.
All right, guys, thanks, Carrie, so much. All right, guys, Ben Troupe, former tight end for the Bucs and the Titans, has been waiting backstage to help me with Week 7 game picks. Ben, get on up here.
Bring in Deb and Troupe so we can get our NFL picks.
Hey, Ben, how are you?
How you doing, Deb? How you doing these days? Are you doing all right?
Good. Going good. We're getting through the show. There's been some technical difficulties, but we are, the show must go on, right?
Absolutely.
So let's start off with the Eagles versus the Vikings, Sunday, 1 p.m. What you got and why? I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
The Eagles have not looked like themselves as of late, Deb. I know I know you are contractually obligated to not go against the Eagles usually when we pick the Eagles, but
Yep.
I think the Eagles get back to their winning ways. But here's what's scary, though. I think this game is going to come down to the wire because Ringo and DeGene and those guys, Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson, they're going to test that Eagles secondary, and they're going to test it early and often. I don't feel good going against Minnesota, but I see the Eagles getting that ugly Giants loss out of their system and getting back to their winning ways against Minnesota.
I mean, they have to, right? They've now won. Yeah. They've now lost 2 in a row. Philly's about to burn down Philly. The fans are not doing well. They're firing Kevin Patola already. It's been a little hellish the last 2 weeks. But as far as this game is concerned, we've got Hurts versus Carson Wentz. But
Ooh.
Yeah, Carson is playing against his old team. That I'd always want to know what that'd be like. You know what I mean? Like that.
It's like somebody goes, "Hey, Deb, you know who's here, right? Who? Your ex? Really?
Right?
And ain't nobody. Y'all knew he was. I'm just saying, Carson Wentz. It's not really a revenge game, but it kind of is for him. Nothing screams validation more than, hey, man, I've been kind of like a journeyman since I left Philadelphia, and now I get a chance to go up against them. It's not going to be easy because as much as Carson Wentz knows Philly, they definitely know Carson. So we'll see the match. We'll see it.
They absolutely do, and that's a great point. And also, too, Carson is a little hurt as well. So they've got JJ. We don't even exactly know if it's going to be JJ McCarthy, if it's going to be Wentz, but where everyone I think is assuming Wentz is going to play. So we'll see last minute before the game. And honestly, like you said, I'm not sure what Eagles team is going to show up. So we will see.
They don't need Jalen. I don't know what Jalen Carter's injury situation is, but they need him bad on that defensive line. I mean, and like I said, I don't know if that was an outlier against the Giants, but the Giants look like the Eagles, and the Eagles look like the Giants against them. So it's football, and you're going to have games like that. But the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts saga is one I'm looking to see play out because while A.J. is playing nice behind the scenes, he's very frustrated because 1 week he's in the game plan, the next week he's barely on the field. We'll see if Minnesota can find a way to keep him at bay because if A.J. Brown it's not A.J. Brown, it's not Jalen Hurts, it's not Nick Sirianni, it is Saquon Barkley. Where has he been the entire season? It wasn't going to be like 2024, but Deb, even you didn't see Saquon looking, he ain't looking, he's not mediocre because he's Saquon, but he's looking very regular on Sundays.
He absolutely is. And I mean, what he only has, I don't even know the number that he has, but it's, way less than obviously it was what he almost hit, what he hit last year. But yeah, I mean, we just haven't, the entire offense, I feel like has been off. They're not clicking and there's just no rhythm this season, but let's hope they get it back together this season or, this particular game. I'd say Eagles are favored by 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Eagles on this one.
I got Eagles.
All right. Let's go.
Begrudgingly, but I got Eagles. Yes.
What was that?
Begrudgingly, but I got Eagles.
All right. Let's go. Colts versus Chargers Sunday at 4:05 p.m. What you got and why?
This is the contender game, right? Everybody thought that the Chargers was world beaters when they came out and beat Kansas City week 1 in Brazil. Problem is they came back to the States and they lost to Jackson Dart, his first start. Yeah. What's up with these Giants? But this is all about
the Giants.
This is about Indiana Jones, though. This is about Indiana Jones, Deb. And I think Daniel Jones is proven if you're in the right system with a running game, with some quality receivers. Tyler Warren is looking good as advertised. First-round rookie out of Penn State. That defense is playing well. The Chargers got some of the brightest yellow uniform. I don't know if you see what they're wearing. It is bright
yellow.
Like can you see me type yellow, but the Chargers are coming in to walking wounded. I think they're down both of their starting running backs right now. I know Justin Herbert's going to give you all he got. Derwin James and that defense going to make it interesting, but I just think the Colts are a better team right now with everything they have from the running game to the passing game to the defense. So good game, but I got Indiana Jones. Can he prove he can win away from Indy? A lot of their games been in Indy. Can you win on the road? Because a lot of when the East Coast teams go west, it doesn't bowl well. But I think Indiana Jones and company got something for them Chargers.
And I agree with you. I think the Colts are going to take this one as well. I think they're a more balanced team. So right now the Colts are 5-1, Chargers are 4-2. So it could be really anybody's game. I feel like exactly what you said. The Chargers started out strong and they won last week, but I feel like they got lucky. So I've seen some questionable things lately. Amarian Hampton is definitely out. That's going to hurt the Chargers huge. They still have Lad McConkey. Everyone knows I love Lad. But like I just said, I think the Colts have this one. I'm loving the new Daniel Jones that we're seeing away from the Giants. Chargers are favored by 1.5. I do not agree with that. I'm going Colts on this one. So there we go. All right, let's go Giants.
You got the crazy jersey. You got the craziest jersey you ever seen versus the most vanilla. The Colts have the most vanilla jersey seen you've had. No thought went into that jersey combination.
Right. Right. And the jerseys in general have been a little crazy. The Arizona was all spotted and it was anyway.
I like Buffalo's new colorway. They just wasted it because they lost to New England. So that jersey is gonna go in the back of the shelf, right?
It's gonna go bye-bye for sure. All right, let's go to speaking of the Giants, let's go Giants versus Broncos Sunday at 4:05 p.m. What you got and why?
I want to pick the Broncos so bad. I like what Bo Nix is doing and coming. I like him and Cortland Sutton and company. But this is all about Scatterboo. This is all about Dart. This is all about Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau. Hey, Abdul Carter. Hey, man, come on to the party, man. Everybody's getting sacks. I know you still trying to find your way. I just like the fact that your two key players on offense are both rookies. Scatterboo wears number 44, and he doesn't like anybody on the opposing team. He can't wait to get in the end zone and do his – I think it's like a backward flipping. I think he likes surfing when he's doing it. I kind of, but I just like the momentum of the Giants. Brian DeBoer, when he went to the rookie, everybody thought the season was over. They go on to the rookie, not so fast. Jackson Dart is playing really, really good football right now, and he's making Brian DeBoer look really, really smart by bringing him in when he did. The Broncos are not going to go quietly into the night. You know what they want to do and run the football. They want to play action pass with Bo Nix. But this is all about the young gunners. Give me Scatterboo and Jackson Dart to get the big win against the Denver Broncos because you want to show you got. It's not. Once again, this is the begrudgingly Blonde Blitz show. I'm saying all these things begrudgingly. Don't go to Vegas with these picks that I'm picking. But I am gonna pick.
Alex.
I'm gonna pick the Giants. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm actually looking forward to this game. I don't know when I became a little bit of a Giants fan. Like, this is a little crazy, but I really do like Jackson Dart. Liked him at the combine. I don't know. I always pick a quarterback once a season and I go with it. So yeah, Jackson Dart versus Bo Nix. Like, let's go. We'll throw in some Drake May in there too, please. He's another one that I'm loving this season. I do love the Giants are having a better season. Dart has obviously sparked the offense, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to beat the Broncos. I wouldn't
be surprised. I mean, Bo Nix doesn't get enough credit for not having a second year slump. Everybody want to focus on what Jaden Daniels is going to do, and JJ McCartney and Drake May and those guys. Bo Nix, not only is he winning games, he can tell Sean Payton, "Get out my face. Who you think you're talking to? Move out the way, Sean Payton." You know what I'm saying? I'm the quarterback. You go live with me or not. But I like what the Broncos are doing right now. They are definitely keeping pressure on the Chargers and the Chiefs in that division right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw what the Broncos did to the Eagles, and it wasn't pretty. So we'll see. This should be a good game. Broncos are favored by 7. I'm going to go Broncos. All right, we got 2 more to get in here. A couple minutes. Falcons versus 49ers Sunday at 8:20 p.m. What you got and why?
If my Falcons show up like they did against Buffalo, I'm going with them Falcons, right? But George Kittle's coming back. Fred Warner, man, I'm praying for you. Praying for you, Fred Warner, man. That was hard to watch. You are the heart and soul of that defense. But is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Brock Purdy? Michael Penix is showing that even though this is kind of his rookie year, because didn't really play his rookie year, Drake London, Bijan Robinson might be the best offensive player in football right now. Yes. I said the best.
Ed and I talked about that. Yep. And I just talked about how Robinson's killing it this season. He's straight out of a video game.
Oh yeah. He is. Listen, somebody went to a lab and said, give me a guy with 4.3 speed, graded. 99 on it. As far as breaking tackles, and Bijan Robinson popped up. I just want the real Kyle Pitts to stand up. If Kyle Pitts can be because you got Drake, you got Drake London, you got Bijan, you got Michael Penix, you got the O-line. Come on, I need Kyle Pitts to look like Kyle Pitts, and I think this could be a really, really good game for the Falcons to come off a big win, because that was an ugly loss early in the year against Carolina. They came back and got a big win, against Buffalo. And can you keep the winning ways? I'm gonna go with the Falcons. Yes, I'm biased because I'm a Falcons fan, but I think this Falcons team is playing good football. Raheem Morris, really, really good coach. You got to beat teams, right, that are relevant. You can't beat Buffalo and lose to San Francisco, who's coming in to walking wounded. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to go Falcons too. I was so excited that they beat the Bills. I am a little bit of a Falcons fan. I lived in Atlanta for a couple of years, so I do have a soft spot for the Falcons, and I have not understood what has gone on this season. Like you just said, Penix, London, McLeod, Pitts, Robinson. Why were they losing? And now they're finally clicking. I think Raheem Morris, I've always said he has something special there. And I'm excited to see what they do against the 49ers. I know Kittle will be back. Excited to see him on the field. I think he's going to be a little rusty, though. He's coming off an injury. And can CMC, said this earlier, can CMC carry this whole team? That's basically what's going on right now. San Fran is favored by 2.5. I don't care what that means. I'm going to go with the Falcons on this one. I think the Falcons are going to play out for the rest of the season. All right, the last one, we got the Bucs versus Lions, Monday Night Football, 7 p.m. What you got and why?
I love the way Baker Mayfield is playing football right now. He's definitely looking like the best quarterback in football right now. But listen, the thing about balloons is they could be popped, and I think Detroit gonna pop that balloon. Here's why. I think the thing about Detroit got humbled against Kansas City. They shut down Amon St. Brown, they shut down Montgomery and Gibbs, and they kind of made the Lions team look kind of pedestrian. I do think that touchdown pass from Montgomery to Goff was legit. I think they just took it from him, but that's another conversation for another day. While I appreciate the way that Baker Mayfield is playing football, who is he going to throw to? I think Emeka Egbuka is going to be out. Godwin hasn't played all season. Mike Evans is going to be out. Irving is still out there running back. I think Detroit is saying to the Bucs, we want to get back to who we are against the best team in the NFC right now. Good game because of the way. But I will say this about Baker Mayfield. If he continues to play football as reckless as he's playing, his body's not going to hold up. He can't be running in the linebackers and safeties to get first down. And the best pass rusher in football, not named Myles Garrett, not named TJ Watt, not named Max Crosby, and not named Micah Parsons. His name is Aiden Hutchinson. The young man is a full-blown monster. Give me Dan Campbell and them Motor City Lions to get back to their winning ways against a Bucs team that's not going to go quietly into the night.
Yeah, I agree with you here too. I think the Lions have this one, and I really like the Bucs. I love Mayfield. Bucs are 5-1, Lions are 4-2. I think this is going to go down to the wire. So, what we talked about, Detroit secondary is banged up, but so is the Bucs wide receivers and the running backs. Mike Evans, I'm hearing, might be back. I don't think that's been determined yet. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Mayfield's dominating. MVP talks. Who would have thought, right? A couple of years ago, Baker Mayfield might be in MVP talks, and here we are. But then, Lions have Jared Goff, and like you said, Aiden Hutchinson. So, I think the Lions got embarrassed by the loss by KC last week. Lions are favored 5.5. I feel like that's high. I feel like that's disrespectful, especially towards Baker Mayfield. But I think the Lions are going to take this one. Although the Bucs could thrive off that disrespect too.
Baker Mayfield used to wake up dangerous. Now he's waking up a dad because I think he got a little girl now. So it's a little different. But I like the way Baker Mayfield plays reckless abandonment football, and you love it. But he's got to learn how to slide and not go in head first with some of these scrambling plays. But I love the way he's playing football.
All right, Ben, thank you so much. We will see you next week. Always love to hear your takes on each week. Today's show is sponsored by Wish LBI and Underdog Fantasy. Go to Underdog Fantasy and use promo code BLONDE, and we'll double your deposit up to $100. If you like tonight's show, please subscribe. And you can follow us on all socials at The Blonde Blitz. All right, guys, football forever. See you next week, and go Birds.